You ready?
3 5-minute rounds in the heavyweight division. On the left side of your screen, Sergei Kharitonov. On the right, Tyrone Spong. Don't blink. Don't take a piss break. Don't step away. This thing can end quite quickly.
Hey, they both made contact. Sergei with a jab, Tyrone with a fast and powerful inside leg kick. Sergei is not afraid to fight.
Tyrone's got to move his head.
Yes, he does.
And don't. Yes, he can't forget that he's a kickboxer. He can't forget that. I know he's been boxing for a long time, but you can't forget that you got kicks too.
Yeah, well, he used them. Leg kick and body kick right on the money.
We also have to understand that Kharitonov right now is pressing because he wants the takedown. This is exactly the position that he wants.
I'm a little surprised at the lack of resistance. That was almost a push, and it looked as though maybe there was a slip there by Tyrone, but he went down. He's in danger.
This is his position here. This is his position here.
Squeezing the head.
This is his position here.
Spong.
All Sergei needs to do is stay here. Don't change the thing. Keep that lock and stay right here.
The big bear, Sergei Kharitonov. Spong called him a polar bear, said he was going bear hunting. Well, the bear's getting the best of him right now.
Sergei's going to want to turn him. Going to want to turn him, put his head on the fence, get his feet off of it. There's a big position, a big opportunity right here for Kharitonov.
Yeah. Tyrone's going to have to find that cage and start to kind of wiggle himself out to use that cage to eventually get up. He needs some type of base in order for him to start getting to his feet. Yeah, he has to do that's close to probably 300 pounds tonight.
Oh,
and that's hard.
Tyrone's got to put his back. He's got to sit up against that cage here because Kharitonov is working his way up. He's working his way up high. Tyrone's got to put his back up against the cage and look to try to work his way back up.
It's another day
that
at the office.
That is a big boy on top.
Yes,
that
is
a big boy on top.
Well, this is a mental relief for Kharitonov. Kharitonov certainly was a little worried to be on his feet.
Gotta watch that arm bar here.
He's found himself in a favorable position.
And Spong brought back down.
Spong needs to get to the cage, so he's doing a better job. He's in a better position now than he was earlier.
Tyrone's doing a good job here, but he's got to look to at least get his back up against the fence and not.
Still so much time on the clock here as Tyrone Spong underneath the big body of Sergei Kharitonov, the Russian, in control.
He's doing a good job too of conserving his energy here because he's not wasting too many of those big explosive movement there because he knows if he's able to make it out of this round, he's going to be fresh for that next round.
Yeah, Sergei's in a great position. He's landed, he's somewhat rested, but also that size is doing the work. He doesn't have to sit up and score with the judges. He needs to make Tyrone work, and he's doing that. This is where the experience comes in, guys.
Tyrone's just going to have to survive this round. He's going to have to take that L for round one because this is a big dude. This is a big dude. We're talking about a Brock Lesnar type big man for those who don't know who Kharitonov is.
He's a big guy, but Tyrone stayed calm here, as he should, because you don't want to panic here and then end up in a worse position. He needs to hold on here, either ride this round out or look to be able to shrimp out, push on one of those knees, and get back into a half guard.
Well, he said getting back into MMA training was the hardest thing he's had to do, just to do the wrestling and the BJJ practice, and now he is dodging punches from the big man, the paratrooper.
Well, and think of how tiring this is for Spong. Right, you got anxiety right now, you got fear, you got a 300-pounder on top of you. There's a lot of things to think about that are taking the energy out of the tank. Meanwhile, Sergei, he's taking deep breaths. He's relaxing. This could pay off later should this fight see the second round.
Continue to hug, look for the underhook, find every position to eventually dive. I mean, he just has to rope-a-dope in there a little bit because that Kharitonov he's starting to unleash a little bit here. But he needs to squiggle out, look for the underhook, find a way to hug him.
Sergei unable to connect with a straight shot. That time punches right through the guard of Tyrone Spong. We are at 30 seconds left in the round. How much longer can the King of the Ring survive?
It seems like Kharitonov got a little tired, man. If you think about it.
It's a little defeating when you're raining down heavy strikes and you're not able to connect or get the guy out of there. And Tyrone's doing a good job. He just needs to hold on here and try to make it out of this round. But he can't get lazy here and give up Kharitonov is setting up that Americana.
There is light at the end of the round here for Tyrone Spong, and it looks like he's going to make it. Round in the can. One around for Sergei Kharitonov.
Now you want to ask how much energy, how much of that battery was drained too for Tyrone Spong. Because keep in mind, Kharitonov is tired too, but the guy that's getting punished. And here we have the kick that Tyrone Spong ended up kicking. I almost feel like he somewhat lost his balance on that second one.
Yeah,
that
and he
takedown.
reloaded. He reloaded and fired it again. And I'll tell you, if you can just
Right
watch
there.
it, this is a push. I don't know that Sergei meant that to be a takedown. It was a push. There was a footing issue, but fair play.
Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of one of those things that you don't want to do when you know that if you have a huge deficiency on the ground, you don't want to throw too many kicks, because if your opponent catches the kick, and especially a guy as big as Sergei, you may stay there all night.
Well, Tyrone Spong springs out of his corner because he's ready to right that wrong that was round number one. Can he keep the big bear off of him, Chael? It's not going to be easy. Kharitonov walks right through strikes, and he knows what the ticket is to victory tonight, and it's getting Spong on the ground.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, and the one thing, the takedown's very effective, as we just saw. But, guys, the threat of a takedown is equally as debilitating to a heavy striker. Tyrone Spong is going to think twice now before he throws anything, and Sergei's got his marching orders.
And Sergei just went back to the well. He tried to shoot for the takedown, but that goes to show you how improved Tyrone's takedown defense is. Would there have been a takedown in that first if it wasn't for him catching that kick?
Yeah, but this is the thing, guys, is because this guy is so big, Tyrone Spong doesn't have to take his chances on his feet, and it has to start now. You don't want that big body on top of you for another 5 minutes.
This is what you paid for, folks. We talked about it. It's live, it's free on Flex. But you gave us your time, you gave us a chance, and we are giving you a slugfest in the middle of our Eagle FC cage. Tyrone Spong looking to battle back. Kharitonov willing to stand and trade.
And Spong can't wait, guys. The time is now. Don't be as heavy on the
He's
kicks.
looking
Be
for a
real heavy
takedown.
on the hands.
You can tell he's literally loading up.
He's waiting for a kick, Henry. As long as Tyrone uses the hands and not the kicks, it's going to shut down some of Sergei's options.
Keep it in the middle. If Tyrone Spong is able to keep it in the middle, the advantage goes on his side, but he cannot allow him to press or be on bottom. This is a battle of distance right now. Whoever wins the distance is going to win the fight.
Yeah, but one thing that Tyrone is doing very, very well is Sergei's doing a good job of covering up, and those shots aren't getting through. So Tyrone's moving him. Get him to move his feet with you, then those jabs start to land just like daggers, straight to the face.
Sergei needs to keep this pressure, guys. Get him into the fence. Go ahead and push him in there. Clinch him. Get your hands on him.
Yeah, he needs that jab to continue to keep putting it at bay because it allows him to be at distance.
There we go again. Back to square one for the king of the ring. He was waiting on that mistake.
This is
Kharitonov was hunting, and he got his man.
And Cyrus, this is the position Kamaru Usman was talking about in the first round. Right now, Tyrone needs to get his back on the fence, start gaining elevation, start doing what we call a wall walk. He can't sit here and rest. He's got to get those shoulder blades. You don't want your head on the fence. You want your shoulders on it.
Great transition.
And you see Sergei going in for that north-south choke there position. But Tyrone's got to stay calm here. He's got to look, whenever he gets a chance, he gets any type of time, he's got to be able to get his back up against that cage and start to shrimp up. But I think he's almost in a crucifix position here.
Expect Sergei to try to go for a full mount, and he's there.
And he's right back
this
in there.
is trouble. Bad news here for Spong. Kharitonov in full mount.
And Sergei can either just settle his weight, make Tyrone do a bunch of work, or he can sit all the way up and start to pick these shots very deliberately like he did at the end of the first.
My goodness, man. How long can you dodge him, Kamaru?
Wow, and Sergei just did something very, very good. You see him, he stepped over with one
And
knee.
this fight is over. Kharitonov gets the win. Main event victory in Eagle FC 44. And to many, he just upset the King of the Ring's return to the sport. The paratrooper comes out on top. Is it a good call? I think it was the right call. He grabbed a hold of the arm, took away the defense, Chael. Good play by Kharitonov, a smart play by the Russian.
The story of this fight was not just the grappling versus the striking. Your eyes might have told you that, but it wasn't. Listen, Sergei mixed it up on his feet. Sergei had just as many jabs. Sergei has just as many slips. That was a very tackle fight by Sergei, and yes, the stoppage was fair.
Kamaro, I know this one. I know this one burns.
It's a tough
it
one.
stings for you. It's your guy, but it's the right call.
It's a tough one, but you know, that's what the referee's there for. They're there to protect you, because essentially when you're in there, you're a gladiator. You're willing to die in there. But the referee's job is to protect you from himself. And Sergei did a phenomenal job. He realized that just sitting in full mount wasn't necessarily getting those strikes there, and that wasn't going to get the call for you. So he was able to step over, trap one of those arms, and it was just free shots to the face. So it's hard to argue a stop like that. I think the referee was able to. The referee did a good job.
Let's take a look at the fight recap brought to you by Oko Group.
And I know.
Right here. Here's where Tyrone's mixing it up, guys, because he does not yet feel the threat of the takedown, so he's kind of flowing. I really do think he slipped just a little bit. I'm not sure that Kharitonov actually meant for this to be a takedown, but when he got on top, Sergei picked his punches. He took his time. He's taking deep breaths. He's got plenty of energy, but he's putting a lot of weight on his opponent.
Yeah, and that's, from a coach's perspective, I think that's what Henry Hooft and these guys are going to be upset about when they go back is when you're fighting the guy that when they take you down and you know that they have a huge advantage on top, you don't throw kicks. And Tyrone was doing a better job there in that second round, moving around, using his feet, using his hands. But when he eventually went back to those kicks, that's when one of the kicks got caught, and then back down to his feet, which ultimately led to the end of the fight.
What a performance by Kharitonov. Man, this guy just keeps on rolling on in his career.
That's a big boy. That's a big boy.
You talk about a run. This guy is on one heck of a run at this age, and I know we'd love to have him back here inside the Eagle FC cage. For Tyrone Spong, hopefully we see him back in MMA. Still think he has so much to offer this sport. Let's go to Ray Flores to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes 55 seconds of the second round. Our referee in charge, Andrew Glenn, waves off the contest for your winner by TKO victory, Sergei Kharitonov.
Sergei, congratulations. How much did you respect Tyrone Spong's stand-up, and was that the plan to press him and to eventually take him down for the win?
Насколько вы уважали его страйкинг, стойку? Это был план на ваш бой, его в партер повалить и добить?
Ну, дело в том, что я сам... Добрый вечер всем для начала. Друзья, план на бой, конечно, был с минимальными рисками победить в этом поединке. Но я понимал, что Тайрон хороший ударник, я также являюсь хорошим ударником, но все-таки много выступаю в ММА, базовый рукопашник, так что, в принципе, мне было не так сложно, на самом деле, в этом поединке. Но Тайрон, на самом деле, ударник высшего класса. Мой тренер Руслан Кривуша проработал со мной все самые опасные эпизоды, которые могли бы произойти. Я сделал сегодня, честно говоря, работу с минимальным риском. Только вперед, друзья.
First of all, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming out. My game plan, yes, I respect his striking. He's a high-level striker. And my game plan was to get minimal damage. I fought a lot, and I have so much respect for Tyrone. He's a great fighter. And thank you, guys.
Sergei, last question for you. I know we had the ability to get you from another organization. Would you like to continue to build your relationship here with Eagle FC?
Я скажу честно, благодарю Хабиба Нурмагомедова за предоставленную возможность выступить в главном поединке в первом турнире в его лиге. Резвана Магомедова однозначно поверил в меня, что я смогу показать красивый зрелищный поединок. Конечно, всех Али Абделязиза, всех моих друзей, которые были рядом. Мага тренировался, меня также настраивал. У меня появился новый друг. Да, очень много ребят в American Top Team тренируются с Дагестана. со многими подружился, познакомился. Хорошие, классные пацаны. Моя команда: Виталий Трунов, Гена, Руслан, Коля, Андрюха, все, Тимур, все мои друзья поддерживали. Я надеюсь, что я буду выступать в UFC в следующих турнирах. Очень хочу. И, конечно, дойти до чемпионского пояса. Только вперед!
Wrap it up, Sergey.
I want to give huge thanks to Habib for this opportunity, and I want to thank my whole team. There's so many people that I actually became friends with me training here, and I want to continue to fight for Eagle FC and fight for the belt.
Your champion, Sergei Kharitonov, everybody.
Hey, we got to pay the
Друзья,
translator.
еще одно маленькое дополнение.
He's not done.
Все, что происходит сегодня со мной, это благодаря, конечно, моей команде, моему клубу «Витязь» в лице Лалакина Сергея Николаевича. Конечно, компания «Обивай» в лице Карепина Михаила Александровича, которые меня всегда поддерживают, дают мне наставления. И 41-42 года мне скоро будет. Я считаю, что я еще молод, полон сил. Вот они мне дают сегодня уверенность в том, что я смогу добиться еще больше успехов в ММА и стать чемпионом. Всем хорошего вечера, друзья! Ура!
That's okay. Thank you. All right. Where did the second microphone come from? Henry had the microphone. Another microphone appeared. Where did the second microphone come from?
Well, you saw how he grabbed it from Henry the first time, man. And when he asked for it, Henry, you better give him that microphone.
How do you just take Kharitonov's?
As a two-sport athlete, man, I know how hard it is. I know the guts that it takes. So I just want to say, man, congratulations for you, man, to stepping into this octagon, because you are at that time you were 2-0. You went up against somebody that was literally, somebody that has 40 fights, man. How was your experience out here? And will we continue to keep seeing Tyrone Spong here in the cage?
We'll see. Obviously it's not the result that I wanted. Disappointment, big. But like you said, it's a legend. I knew up front that it was not going to be an easy task. I gave it my all. I tried, made some mistakes, and I paid the price for it.
Any last message for all your fans? We're all proud of you, bro. I'm telling you, this stuff what you did right now is hard, man, especially against a bigger opponent. You're 2-0, man, going up against a guy at 40 fights. Man, I said it the whole week. I'm like, dude, this guy's got some balls.
You gotta, if you're a fighter, you gotta take risk. You gotta try. I tried, came up short. Not ashamed of it, but and to my fans, I normally look better than this,
Tyrone Spong, everybody.
Wow.